challenges of today. And look, tomorrow poverty may be defined as actually access to infrastructure, right? Also access to the internet. I mean, if people in this country will not have access to, at least 3G, if not 4G, if not 5G by that time, internet, they will not be able to exercise their right to have e-governance services, whether it's Aadhaar or any other, facility or capability. The amazing achievements that are happening in India in terms of using satellite technology for national development, including rural and agricultural development. You have to be online. You have to have access to other infrastructure in rural and other areas. But in India, poverty will also increasingly be urban. And I think it's already happening today. The fact that 250, 300 million Indians will likely migrate to cities in the coming 15 years, with a very complex program of modernizing and upgrading city and urban infrastructure, transportation, major networks, poverty will increasingly globally, and in India especially, will become urban. So how we shift our attention and understanding of how to deal with poverty in urban settings, I think is a challenge that some of us may already need to be looking at for tomorrow. I think let me stop with that because there are plenty of very intelligent and qualified speakers that will be intervening today during the panels. I just hope that some of these issues will get your attention and will spark a debate during both question and answer sessions. But otherwise, thank you to RIS and to NITI for convening this. It's not a coincidence that poverty comes last because it integrates everything. So there is a logical method to this madness, but thank you to them for organizing this and for inviting an enlightened group to discuss it, and good luck to you in the discussions today. Thank you very much.
Thanks, Yuri, for your very excellent remarks on interconnectedness of the SDGs. And you also talked about the integrated focus on the various agenda and the targets. You also mentioned about the dimensions of the various programs in India, like doubling farmers' income and health insurance schemes. Anyway, these issues we'll also be discussing in detail in the sessions today. Now, it's my privilege to invite our Honorable Vice Chairman, Dr. Rajiv Kumar ji, for addressing us.
माननीय ग्रामीण विकास मंत्री श्री नरेंद्र सिंह तोमर जी, हिंदुस्तान में संयुक्त राष्ट्र के प्रतिनिधि श्री यूरी अफनेसयाब जी, मेरे दोस्त सचिन चतुर्वेदी और मेरे सहकर्मी अशोक जैन, लेडीज एंड जेंटलमैन और सारे महानुभाव जहाँ एकत्रित हुए हैं। मैं अपनी बातचीत हिंदी में सिर्फ इसलिए शुरुआत कर रहा हूँ, मुझे मालूम है कि यहाँ पर बहुत सारे ऐसे लोग हैं जो हिंदी नहीं समझते हैं, मगर मैं बात अपनी हिंदी में इसलिए शुरू कर रहा हूँ कि अगर हम लोग गरीबी की बात हिंदी में ही करते होते तो शायद 70 साल बाद गरीबी हमारे बीच में नहीं होती। मुश्किल यही है कि हम लोग बात हमेशा गरीबी की अभी तक अंग्रेज़ी में और एयर कंडीशन कमरों में करते आए हैं, और इसीलिए शायद ये है कि अभी भी हमारे बीच में ये गरीबी का ये एक धब्बा हमारे बीच में मौजूद है। So what I really wanted to emphasize today with all the luminaries who are gathered here and all the high intellect which is gathered here, that perhaps it's time now to take the discussion on poverty away from Delhi and even perhaps away from state capitals to the district capitals, as Sachin had mentioned that I keep emphasizing, to district capitals and perhaps even to the rural, rural centers where as Yuri just said, poverty has been concentrated in our country. So my appeal to all people here is that can we during the day come up with a plan of action as to how the discussion on poverty goes to the place where the rubber meets the road, which is in the urban slums and in the rural countryside and in those districts where it is now predominant. हम लोग अभी जब बात कर रहे थे, मैं माननीय मंत्री जी से बात कर रहा था, ये था कि हमारे देश की इस समय जो मुश्किल है, the problem that we have in this country is that poverty has now got stuck in some corners, as it were. And poverty has got stuck into corners where even the modern technology finds it difficult to reach. And the delivery of services, the delivery of help is difficult to get there. And which is why in Niti Aayog, on the guidance, on the instructions of the Prime Minister, we chose this program, and for which which now he's so focused, which is this program of 115 aspirational districts. We discovered during the course of this exercise that there are 201 districts actually where, in some sense, which are the most backward and where a large number of social development indicators, human development indicators are way below even the national average. And I think, I personally think that if we succeed, as we must, in taking these 115 aspirational districts up to the national average, I think we would have finally won our battle against poverty in this country. And I think that's the focus that we must make. And I hope that these consultations today will result in a plan of action, if you like, as to how we could focus our future deliberations and our future actions on those 115 districts. I assure you that with the focus that we have in Niti Aayog on those districts, with the appointments of Prabhari officers from all states and from the central government ministries, you will find a very receptive ground in those districts for you to be able to delineate your programs against poverty in those districts. And I wish that those will be the focal points of what you go, of what we do in coming years to get to be able to finally win this battle against poverty. Having said this, I must therefore, in a related manner, emphasize that the question is not about what is poverty or how is poverty to be removed. I think we know most of those answers. The question is certainly about implementation. So when I, for example, first see the first session that is listed here, where some of the most highest intellects are gathered here to discuss this, can we in these sessions, whether it's on education or health or or on infrastructure development or whatever, can we please focus on the instrumentalities for eradicating poverty, rather than getting into definitional issues at this point, because I don't think that serves much purpose as we go along. And I would be very happy, I would be actually thrilled to see a report coming out of this consultation process, which tells Niti Aayog, these are the 5, ये 2, 3, 4, 5 चीज़ें हैं, जब आप कर लीजिए तो हमारी विचार में हमारी राय में आप जो है वो अपनी इस गरीबी के लड़ाई में, गरीबी उन्मूलन की लड़ाई में आप जो है वो सफल होंगे. तो मैं चाहता हूं कि इस तरह से अगर हम लोग करें इसको तो देखें तो ज़्यादा अच्छा है. कुछ थोड़ी सी चीज़ें मैं और कहना चाहता था. एक तो ये कि आई थिंक फॉर मी इट्स वेरी क्लियर नाउ कि दैट वी हैव टू मूव अवे फ्रॉम एनी नोशन ऑफ पॉवर्टी बीइंग ए कैलोरी बेस्ड डेफिनेशन ऑफ पॉवर्टी. We must move away. I hope we have moved away. But when I see this $1.25 definition, I somehow feel that we are still stuck there, because probably that 1.25 is 1.25 converts to about something like 80 rupees, 90 rupees per day per person. If that's the, maybe it will meet us, I'm wondering whether we should look at the fact that whether this is sufficient to meet or address the multiple dimensions of poverty that we must be talking about today. And that includes, of course, that must include, subsistence, shelter, subsistence, shelter, education, health, and so on. And I think, therefore, maybe today it's a time for us to say that this is how we want to, the new definition of poverty that we want to address in our country, and maybe if it comes forward, it'll be a good idea. Here again, there is the other issue of improving and increasing, raising the share of public services in the consumption basket of the poor. I mean, in so far, most often, because of, unfortunately, the nature of our state in some sense, the nature of our administration, the nature of our delivery of public services, the poor, in fact, even the lower middle class, have been left to fend for themselves, to move out of poverty. First steps are now being taken, in my view, in the last 3 or 4 or 5 years, to replace this with a development state which emphasizes and which focuses on improving the efficiency, the delivery, the efficiency and the transparency of the delivery of public services, and making sure that these public services reach those for whom it is intended to be. And I think, therefore, the direct benefit transfer that we've done through the JAM Unity is a huge step in that direction. 420 odd schemes, 419 odd schemes having been already shifted to this DBT, about 2.1 lakh crore being transferred to the through the DBT, 57,000 crores being saved from leakages. And this is a very important issue. For 60 years, we have lived with the fact that only 15% of the transfers meant for the beneficiaries actually reach them. The rest gets frittered away, leaked away into the gravy train, that has been built up, on this basis, on the name of, and most unfortunately, on the name of socialism of some order. But I think if we now can make sure, and if today in the consultations you can tell us how the direct benefit transfer is still weak or failing, or what are the problems in that, how we can improve that further, how we should shift it, how we should expand it to cover also food subsidies and fertilizer subsidies, daunting tasks as they are, I'll be very grateful, because I think that's the one real way of of attacking poverty where it matters most. The other one, of course, I must mention, I would fail in my duty to not mention, it's come up already, which is that I think Ayushman Bharat would be a huge attack on poverty and on the drivers of poverty, on the fact that 60 million, as Yuri mentioned, keep falling back into poverty because of the health-related traumas that the family and the individual gets. I think for the first time, the government has at least determined to say that, that the bottommost 100 million families, 500 million people, henceforth may not have to worry about their medical expenses going forward. I think 5 lakh per family is sufficient. I would request all those people here to say that if it is not, what should it be? And also to tell us what could be the possible loopholes, what could be the possible pitfalls in implementing this scheme, because it is a most ambitious scheme, combined with the setting up of 1.5 lakh wellness centers, because primary health and preventive health is perhaps the first step, and this is where everything gets connected, the Swachh Bharat and the Anganwadis and all of those, and all of that, and man nourishment, the National Nourishment Mission, of which I chair, all of that gets connected. So I think for the first time we are moving in this direction of taking care of primary health and ensuring that the entire burden, the out-of-pocket expense of more than 80% becomes less for the poorer families. But do tell us as to how we can improve that. Finally, ladies and gentlemen, may I say that and Sachin mentioned this, which is that we will need to go back to the districts and draw up the district development plans, because that's really where it all happens. That's really where it all happens. And I think if we cannot improve the design of district development, if we cannot achieve much greater convergence of all the schemes, all the plethora of schemes which are there at the district level, and to make sure that they are delivered in the manner that they should be, and if we don't enable, and if we don't empower, and if we don't improve the resources available at the district administration level, and keep asking the district collector to achieve the impossible without giving him or her the empowerment or the resources, I think we are not going to be, we're not going to be achieving much more than what we have done in the past. Which is why I think this pilot scheme of the 115 districts can be very useful, can be very meaningful. It can deliver to us a lot of learnings as we go forward. And if we do this, then I'm sure we will, and if we focus on these and the other 785, which will make it the 201, I think we would be able to win our battle against poverty in this country. I very much look forward to the results of these deliberations. I'm sure with all the faces that I see here, it will be a very rich day of discussions and consultations. But just again, my last request, कि कृपया करके अगर हमें आप ये बता दें कि कैसे हम इसको करें और कौन से कदम हम उसको उठाएं, कि जिससे कि हम इसी गरीबी की लड़ाई में अपनी विजय हासिल कर सकें, तो बहुत अच्छा होगा। बनिस्बत इसके कि हमको आप फिर से नई नई परिभाषाओं में नीति आयोग को उलझाने की कोशिश करें, क्योंकि नीति आयोग एक थिंक टैंक तो ज़रूर है, मगर नीति आयोग साथ में एक एक्शन टैंक बनने की भी कोशिश कर रहा है, जो कि चाहता है कि चीज़ों को हम ज़मीन पे उतार सकें, उनको ज़मीन पर इम्प्लीमेंट कर सकें। बहुत बहुत धन्यवाद। थैंक यू।